Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.
Dr Scott Arthur.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and I thank the member for West Ham and Beckton for bringing this debate today, and in particular the tribute he made to our public service workers. And we should never forget that in places like Edinburgh, everyone from bus drivers to bin drivers took huge risks at the start of the pandemic because the consequences and the transmission of the virus was unknown. And I have to, at this point, Madam Deputy Speaker, mention my lovely wife because she worked in end-of-life care as a nurse all the way through, and also the fantastic Hannah in my office who worked in a care home. But COVID has not disappeared. The fantastic COVID memorial wall across from this building tells us that the number of hearts on it is slowly growing, and I do hope when the Minister responds she can give us an update on any plans to make that permanent and mark the fantastic work of the Friends of the Wall. In Scotland last year, so COVID isn't away yet, in Scotland last year in 1 week alone 443 people were hospitalised with COVID, and long COVID is now more prevalent, or just as prevalent, as strokes, COPD and atrial fibrillation.
I thank my honourable friend for giving way and for bringing up Long COVID, an organisation that is Long COVID Kids, which was founded by my constituent Sammy McFarland, highlights the experience that particularly young people are facing with Long COVID. Does he share with me that we need to make sure we give it the consideration it needs alongside other illnesses when we develop health policy going forwards, even though we are some 5 years on from the pandemic?
Dr Scott.
Absolutely, and hopefully within the time limit I'm going to expand on that a little tiny bit, but that organisation sounds absolutely fantastic, so thank you for mentioning them. One of the most powerful things about being an MP, of course, is the people we meet, particularly in our constituency. And one of those people is Sophie, who attended my surgery in the fantastic Fountainbridge Library. And her story starkly portrays the reality of living with long COVID. Sophie enjoyed a full and active life before the pandemic. She used to run to her office in the mornings where she oversaw a small team of dedicated designers. I'm sure she wasn't too sweaty at that point after her run to work. Now she relies on a wheelchair to get around and is largely housebound. In her own words, she said, "I am desperate to get back to my career and my life again and to live life in its fullness, but doctors have been unable to help her." Sophie is just one of a small but growing number of constituents who write to me with stories which highlight the seemingly irreversible impact that COVID infection has had on their lives. With no proven treatments or cure in sight, we can't afford to treat COVID as old news. We need to keep talking about it, in particular with those people who are suffering from long COVID. And it shouldn't be an economic argument, but the impact of long COVID to our economy is significant. It's estimated to cost us £4.2 billion up to 2030. So as long as treatment options remain limited and new patients continue to join the thousands already grappling with long COVID on a daily basis, we need to do just three things to help them and help reduce the burden on our NHS. We need to empathise with those who have this condition and treat it seriously. I think too often they're seen as working the system, and I know through the people I've met that is completely untrue. We need to invest in new trials and research. And we have to recognise that while the threat of COVID may still be around, we have to take it seriously and make sure vulnerable groups are vaccinated. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.